Want to plant seed potatoes without all the rot? Stay tuned. Welcome back to Grow, Plan, Live. So today we're planting our seed potatoes, and we've got the Huckleberry Gold variety of seed potatoes. A lot of people ask, can you plant whole potatoes like this? And yes, you actually can, and we'll be doing that today. I got this particular set from So True Seed, and if you notice, you can see the sprouts on them. That process is also called chitting, chitting, and it's basically leaving them in the bag that they came in and allowing them to sprout. It's so funny because the chitting process, I was aware of it, but it actually kind of happened on accident because I got busy and could not come out here and do different things with these potatoes like I normally would. So yeah, that's what's interesting. So, a couple of things today. Shout out to Bear Brown. He recently did a video on how to get these done, so I'm going to incorporate his methods with my methods. But first, let's talk about fertilizers when it comes to potatoes. Anytime we plant anything in the garden, our NPK ratio is critical. That's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. For something like a potato, it's going to be considered a root vegetable. You're going to always focus more on the P and the K, on your phosphorus and your potassium. So I always like to give my plants whatever they're going to need in the actual planting hole when I do the initial planting. This is what they'll need for the future growth. I just do this to help boost the growth. So for our NPK ratio, what is really strong in the P is going to be our bone meal. If you notice the ratio here, here's the N is 2, the P is 17, and the K is 0. So for a strong P, we're going to use our bone meal here for our phosphorus. And then, as an organic gardener, I had a little bit of a learning curve to do some research, but I finally found an OMRI, that's the Organic Certifier for Garden Products, a place that certified a product that is strong in the potassium, and that is this Langbianite. And if you notice here, it's 0 nitrogen, 0 phosphorus, it's all potassium, very strong potassium. So we're going to put some of both of these in our planting hole, the bone meal and the Langbianite, before we plant each potato. Additionally, one of the things that people are concerned about when it comes to potatoes when you plant them whole is rot. So we've got a solution for rot, and that's going to be sulfur. Bear Brown, Gardening with Bear Brown, just did a video on this showing that you put sulfur on top of your potatoes whenever you plant them, and that should take care of any issues as far as rotting. And they're actually supposed to do better when they're chitted, the chitted. They're supposed to actually do better and have better growth. This is my first time trying the Huckleberry Gold, and that's why I say supposed to. So we're going to do these 3 things: the bone meal, the Langbianite, and the sulfur on these potatoes to get them going. Right now, if you're learning anything, enjoying this video so far, if you have not done so, please hit like and subscribe and join our free school community where we discuss gardening. Again, it's completely free and it's linked in the description. So looking in here, we've got one huge potato, and looks like we've got 5 potatoes total here. So we're going to just go ahead and make 6 spaces with our different nutrients on them, and I'm just going to kind of evenly space them out. I want to also note that when you do this, you want to make sure your soil is going to be fairly loose, because these potatoes will need to start moving as they grow, of course. So this is actually DIY homemade soil. I'll have that linked in the description. You can make your own soil. I focus on organic container gardening in small spaces, so I like to make my own soil. I actually found that the growth actually boosted a substantial percent. I could easily say 200 or 300% when I start making my own soil instead of buying the kind that they have marked down right now at your big box hardware stores. As we speak, they're releasing the new ad for spring. But if you want to make your own, check out, and I also give you tips on how to stretch that soil and save money when you're making your own DIY soil at home. So check out that video. So let me go ahead and start, and we'll get our 6 spaces for our potatoes so we can go ahead and get that started. Okay, we've got our bone meal and our lang night down, so now we're going to go ahead and place our potatoes. You want to face these up if at all possible, so we're going to do that, and then we'll put our sulfur on top of the potatoes to move forward. I also want to make sure I clarify that you use a garden grade sulfur. I don't know if I said that before. Make sure it's going to be garden grade because you don't want to just use a random one. Got that in, we're going to go ahead and cover these potatoes with our soil. Most places say that you want to put these about 6 inches deep. Again, like I said, this is the first time I've done this variety, so that's why I say most places. But let's go ahead and cover these with soil. So cover with about 6 to 9 inches of soil if you don't plan on hilling in the future. But if you do plan to hill, HILLING, your potatoes in the future, you can put 2 to 4 inches initially and then add more soil later. Now here's an important extra step I want to note here. This soil that I'm using is reused soil from last year, okay? Last year, I tried onions for the first time, and I got onion moths, okay? Because of that, the soil, when I researched, they said they basically live in the soil over the winter, and they will be there the next year. So I was like, oh no, I want to reuse my soil. In order to do that, you have to get beneficial nematodes, and I'll pop a picture up. Okay, beneficial nematodes must stay refrigerated so they're not, shelf stable. But I put some on a bag. You use about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, these little beads, and you have to water them in. I'm going to add these to the soil because I want to make sure that those onion moths, onion thrips don't have any negative impact on my potatoes or anything else that I may plant in that same soil. So I'm going to make sure now to go ahead and put these in the soil, and we're going to water everything in, and that's going to wrap up. But for those of you having problems with onion moths and you want to reuse soil, just any kind of, you have to see because they have different kinds, at least 2 or 3 different kinds of beneficial nematodes that you can buy. But for the specific ones I had with the onion moths, these are the ones, and like I said, you probably can't see them real well because of the sun, the beautiful sunlight. But they're these little beads that I'm going to put on the top of the soil, and we're going to water in. And now let's water in. that's it. So it's just that simple. Again, like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Check out my free Ultimate Fertilizer Guide. It's linked in the description. And continue to join me as we keep growing together.
See you next time.